Splish splash, I was taking a bath, doo-doo-doo. Stuck a bar of soap up my ass, doo-doo-doo. I'm gonna go with build challenge number 2, because it seems like the first one was very well accepted amongst community members and, you know, YouTube in general. So, after about a couple of weeks of resting and everybody getting their ideas put together, we come to terms of the fact that the title's already spoiled it for you, but we're doing trains now. So it's going to be the whole same setup as last time. We go down the list of all the people's builds, and you vote down in the comments below as to who you think is going to be the winner. So, let's see, who said they wanted to go first?
Me.
Astro. Actually, no, I just skipped one important detail. Now y'all need to say hi first before we get to this.
Aww.
Hello.
Fan.exe.
He's got a voice changer. I just go from hello to hello. Alright. Let's see, now that we're all here, let's see, Astro, go load up your world, and we'll jump over there and get to it. Alright, so first up, we have Astro's train here, and kind of did a bit of a quick little preview of it, and I already kind of got the idea as to what he did with it, so you, the viewer, you can ponder as to what the hell you're looking at, but Astro, give us some details.
Alright, so what I basically did, I did it to where like it's a timeline of trains, so like this train is like, you know, way early in the 1800s, it's one of the first ones, and back here I'm saying it's like in the 2050s or something like that. So each train car, it goes farther up in time, so that's basically the whole idea of it.
Creativity.
So,
I tried to get creative.
so it's like a time capsule, but as a train.
Basically, in a way, I guess.
In a way.
So it seems like we have the first attendee doing something completely original rather than trying to replicate a full-fledged train, but we have a good handful of customs and replicas.
So, this first train, I think it's called like the P.Y. Darren or something like that. It's from like 1804. The second one is just like a coal cart from like the 1850s, I guess. I just like kind of looked up 1850 coal cart. This third one, knowing me, I'm a Titanic enthusiast. I had to do something Titanic related. So this is a Titanic passenger train from 1912. Like this is what they would have rode to board the Southampton docks to go to Titanic.
Oh,
It has
okay.
At first, it didn't make sense to me, and I didn't realize what you meant.
Oh, hey, he's actually got a little bit of interior in there, so I gotta go check that out.
Oh, I want in on this.
Oh, okay, so he did the whole individual cabin setup, but I can't open doors.
Yeah, I can't do shit either. No one can.
Okay, so this looks to be a bathroom quarters. And now, here we go. Oh. Full-fledged seating cabin. So let's see, does it like alterate? Okay, no, never mind.
See, like, there's very limited info on these kind of like carriages, so I mainly just used Titanic Honor and Glory, and I used one cabin from them, and I just basically kind of had to assume the layout. I mean, I know it had this hallway at the edge. That's the only thing I really know about them, though. So you can see it's very cramped, so I couldn't double layer all the walls and stuff.
Well, I mean, I've seen enough movies where they have these kind of train carriages and stuff, so honestly, you know, based on my perspective, it's actually very well done.
And so this fourth one is just like a modern kind of cargo.
Boxcar.
Yep. I try to put a bit of cargo in it. This it's probably very unrealistic, but I kind of put like a sunken propeller from like a wreck of some kind of ship in there, and so I'll break in there.
Yeah, I
I'm the
just
train
heard
nerd, so
I
you can
just
kinda
heard
count on me
somebody
for
sipping
facts
on
and
night
shit.
vision, so I should probably put that on.
Yep.
Oh, here's the propeller, I'm guessing.
So I try to put like a rustic propeller blade from like a wreck or something. It's probably very unrealistic, but
Yeah, if it works, it works. Now, here we go. Alright, so then moving on to the final carriage.
alright, so this is a more like a 2050 modern train I tried to do. It also has interior. It's just, you know, of course, all made up because it's in the future, but
Yep.
nothing really too special.
Lots of windows.
Yeah,
Got
there's a
some windows.
lot of windows.
Got a full-fledged
That's a lot of
sofa up
damage.
here with the TV and stuff, and then moving on down the cabin. So okay, so it's like the old school one, just more modernistic and.
Country, I see you kind of oof there.
I'm guessing, yeah, okay, so it's just all about the same. But what about the observation deck? What are these bathrooms? Yeah. Very spacious for an observation deck. Or platform, whatever the hell you want to call it.
I tried to go with more like a modern, like very spacious kind of thing. I mean, the interior is not spacious, but.
Well, seems like this just about sums up Astro's train, so kind of a little bit of a re-summarization. It's kind of a timeline or a time capsule built as a train. You got like 18th century moving up all the way to the steam age, to the diesel age, and up to the future age. So here you have it. First attendee, post down in the comments if you think he's the winner. And we shall move on to the next one. And who said they wanted to go next?
Me.
Me? Okay. Alright, so here we have our second attendee. Mr. Juju has returned yet again from the Build Challenge to build himself a train, and he's got a whole lineup of them, but he had to pick just one, and I guess this is the one he freshly built right off the get-go. And the name of it apparently is the Blue Comet.
Mm-hmm.
So, is this a replica or a custom?
I'd like to think of it as a custom, but it is basically a replica.
Okay. So okay, let's see. That's all the other trains. Here's a okay. So this is the loading platform or the boarding platform.
Yeah.
All right. So give us some history.
All right. Okay. What?
Yeah, like I said, you gotta do the commentary.
All right.
Or like just tell us about your build.
All right. So I remember I was on pressure, and I didn't start construction until like the third to last day. So I was like, oh shit. Because I was panicking, and all the train cars are exactly the same, 31 blocks long each, and that goes for the others. So Paramarket, Daylight, as well as the Challenger, 844, all have 31 block long cars.
Well, I mean, it was only the only requirement was that it had to be a minimum of 4 carriages. So I mean, you've done surpassed that by a mile.
By 8.
So let's see. Are your carriages in furnished? No, they're not. Okay.
No. The ones in Daylight are partially.
Okay, but we can only focus on the Blue Comet because this is your challenge entry.
All right.
At least you got an observation platform.
Yep. Surprisingly enough, for this son of a bitch, and I'm just talking about the engine. Considering its scale, I do have plenty of detail. All right.
So let's see. I'm guessing I need to squeeze my little happy ass inside the cabin.
Alright, yeah. Alright. I may not win by size or by creativity.
So you definitely do have the
features.
longer one.
Yeah. Alright. I want y'all to be completely quiet and come into the cab. Alright.
Yeah, so you got
Y'all heard
the
the
bell.
correct.
Yeah, you got the bell wired up.
Alright.
Firebox.
Alright.
Yep.
Alright. So as you can see, there is a sign saying front light. Alright. Flick that up, and if you would likely come to the front, it's off. So I took the time to figure all of this out and squeeze it into one engine, and as well as a tender light. Come on here, gentlemen. This was on previously, but I just turned it off. Oh, I heard a window smash. Who was it? Alright.
Wait, what even window was
So
it?
I don't know. I just heard a random ass window. Alright. Anyways, of course I would have a campfire.
Yep, to give it the smoke particle effect.
I tried to do something with a piston, but that didn't go well. Considering, alright, gentlemen, let us take an observation inside. So this is how it's all wired. Alright. So of course you've seen...
Countryman just sets himself on fire.
So redstone on top leads to the bell as a little string, partially. And so for the front light, it's interior, and for the tender, it reaches from inside of the cabin down here and into the tender. And of course, since concrete stairs and slabs weren't a thing, I had to resort to prismarine and stone.
Yeah. So far you got the longest one, and you also had the only train with functional equipment on board.
Maybe if I would have made this at a larger scale, I would have like included redstone lighting into the cars.
I mean, I know there was one time I was using a big boy model, and I tore inside the boiler, and I actually put a repeater circuit, connected to a couple of pistons, so that way whenever you activate it,
make it
kind
like it's chuffing.
Yeah, make it sound like it's chuffing, but it's not going anywhere.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So
Fine,
this
is going a bit off topic, but you've noticed that I've been using stairs for the other engines and their lights.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's because whenever I flip redstone to a signal, that'll open the trapdoor. I was originally using trapdoors. So yeah, and when I turn on the redstone, the trapdoors would open, which pissed me off. So I'm just having to resort to this. So that's why you see these looking funky. I mean, besides Big One and Challenger, because that's how they look.
Alright, so does this conclude your build?
Just about. I also didn't know what fuel source to use, so I just went fuck it and just put coal in there.
Well, that'd be kind of like the conventional, first pick for any kind of steam engine.
Yeah, just about. Also, the thing above the light, this right here, I don't know what the hell this actually is.
Just put it there?
Might just be for detail, yeah. I just saw on an image, I'm like, may as well put it there.
It might be something to put like well, I don't know if they really numbered the trains then. You'd always put like a sign with a random number on it.
Actually, now that I think about it, I didn't talk about the cars at all. I just talked about the engine. Alright. So, you noticed the yellow.
Mm-hmm.
And while I was looking at an image, it showed the Blue Comet name above, and it showed it in yellow. So I was like, creativeness! Alright. So these are all spaced out. So the first is 3 for the, second is 4 for blue, and fifth is 5. Fifth?
Okay.
What the hell? Bro, I haven't gotten sleep already. You could excuse me from all the mistakes I've made so far.
Yacht Build Challenge, I couldn't speak English. No, you're over here can't count for shit.
Yeah. There's also things below the cars. I'm just gonna guess that's extra storage.
Well, I mean, I do know,
Also,
like, on the underbelly of these carriages, they have, like, plumbing, piping, electrical, and, like, these weird tank-looking things for water, I'm guessing, but...
Yeah. Also, excuse the house here. This is something my cousin made, even though I told him not to do, and I just told him to make it far away. He's like, fuck you. Right.
Yep.
Also, you can what?
So, I guess this, kind of concludes, Juju's build, the Blue Comet. So, the shindig, comment down below if you think he's the winner, and we should now move on to the next one. And let's see, Countryman, I remember he said he was going to go third, so let's get to it. Alright, third attendee or entry, we have Countryman with what appears to be his custom-made big boy.
Okay, I don't know what to say. I built this when the challenge came out, built all of this in a day and a half. Then I just added a little bit of detail every once in a while. Got smoke. It does have 8 cages.
Okay, well, considering the fact that Country seems to be face planting, so hard trying to do his own commentary. Yeah, I guess he was unaware of the fact that we're all doing commentary on our own trains, but considering the fact that
I didn't watch the last video of this, okay?
Well, you've been tagging along with us with everybody else doing the commentary on the train, so...
Let's excuse him, Jack.
Okay.
Just excuse me.
Well, I was going to say, since...
Shut up.
Okay, so what... oh my god, I was going to say, like, since I'm a good friend, I mean, since you already gave me the details, you want me to just do the commentary on this one?
Yeah, yes, please, because I'm face planting pretty badly.
Yeah, he's drunk off his ass, everybody excuse him real quick.
Yeah, I got you.
Alright, so he already gave me the whole details, and of course, like he said, he built a big boy locomotive, 8 carriages long. And originally, whenever he first started his project, everybody's probably wondering, like, well, why the hell is this thing decked out with red slabs and nether brick, whatever the hell it is, because everybody else would probably conventionally use stone
Jack,
slabs and all
that is
that.
red nether brick.
Red nether, I mean,
Me,
what?
motherfucker.
I know. Okay.
Why are you just taking your time?
Okay, and then so let's see. If you're all kind of grieving over the fact that it's red instead of like gray or dark gray, he intentionally redesigned the big boy to be color matched with the carriage, as if it were a passenger train. So, considering the fact that the carriages themselves are red and black, he altered the big boy to be color schemed red and black for it all to match up. So don't give him too much shit.
Fun fact: Big Boy is actually being used in excursion service today.
So, technically speaking, he is kind of within the same ballpark, as of today, since they restored it. But back in the olden days, when Big Boy was in its heyday, yeah, this probably would be a sin, but...
Yeah, pulled mile-long trains along.
So, let's see, does your carriages have any interior?
Yeah, each one's fully detailed.
Full detail, let's check this out. Uh-oh.
You can't go that way.
Iron door.
You know, there's no design AEF button, so
Okay.
these
Side
buttons
door.
on the sides.
So I'm guessing this is a cargo or carriage
I
or
can't
baggage
do jack
car?
shit. Ha,
Oh,
ha,
actually,
jack
hold on. I gotta
shit.
give people.
Okay, so you made it to where we can just walk between the carriages. We have to go outside and back along the edges and back inside.
Yeah, because there's no really good AEF button right there.
I don't think
That is
anybody
a
would really
downfall
give a
I
shit
found
whether there was a
when I
button there or not.
recording This.
Derp.
So let's see, I'm guessing that
then
was a
the-
dining car. This is just an average
Yeah, that
seating
was
car.
dining. This is seating. Then the next two, if three, is almost identical to this one.
More seating. Oh shit, I'm
Your
bouncing
door
everywhere.
opening system isn't gonna get annoying at all.
Hey, trust me, I
That's
built
some
this thing, so I
sarcasm
know
right
it's
there.
annoying.
Yeah.
More
Bruh,
seating.
you should have seen. You should have seen the inside of my daylight. It was fucking horrible. I remember
And-
I had
Having-
pressure plates on the ground. It was super annoying to get through.
Oh god, I need to put like a
Dining
dry coat
car.
dries in right there, so you can walk straight through the middle.
All right.
Alright, so let's see. One last car. This is the caboose. How's the observation? Yep, it's got the big old nice seating, sofas, dining. Oh, button up here, so at least you can get to the observation platform.
I did do this.
So, and what you did tell me, you said you were more or less inspired by the Polar Express as far as the observation deck
Yeah,
goes.
I was about to say
Yeah.
that. I was like, this looks like the Polar Express. I like the idea of using a red banner.
Yeah, I did have a item frame with a piece of red stained glass, but the way I'm gonna be making this map, I'm gonna have a lot of item frames and it just didn't look as good.
Yeah. Why do I hear glass breaking?
I think that might be Astro, or no, Nico probably doing
That's
something.
not me.
You think?
No, Nico's on here too.
Okay, well then,
Oh,
who
Yeah,
the-
he's
who the
right
heck-
here. Why do I hear glass? Who is that?
Is somebody like playing
Not
Pocket
me.
Edition on their
I'm back
phone?
here with y'all.
Or somebody in the background playing Minecraft?
Exactly.
Alright, let's see here. So, I guess that sums up Countryman's big boy passenger train here. So, at least so far, he doesn't have the longest train, but so far he's got the one with the most with each individual carriage being detailed. Well, actually, no, I shouldn't say that, because Astro had his detailed. So, well, I guess Country takes the cake for, detailed passenger train.
Comes close to my length.
Pretty close. So Juju so far has the longest train. I know I'm not going to surpass that, because most people would expect me to do biggest is best, but not this time around.
Jack.
So, let's see. The shindig. Comment down below if you think Countryman's the winner. And now we shall move on to the next person. Alright, next up we have, let's see, Nico Cruz. And looks like he also built a big boy model, but more accurate and appropriate to style. Alright, so Nico, can you give us any kind of commentary on yours, or are you going to faceplant like Country?
You got lazy with it.
So, I mean, so were you also thinking it can only have a maximum of 4, or did you just build 4 because that's all you needed? Well, I typed it up as a minimum, so like you could have had more if you wanted to, but so let's see. Based on like, because I already guessed this earlier, you said like it's kind of like a replica of the Big Boy after it's been restored. For anybody who's been keeping up with that news, and it's got
Me.
the up-to-date Union Pacific excursion cars.
Correct.
Yeah. So here's the cargo compartment, and this is the passenger compartment.
I
At
like
least
that
you can
he's done. Yeah.
Yeah, walk between the cars.
I did too, but no one actually walked through them.
He's got
Alright.
pressure plates in between these ones.
Mm. I did that originally, but yeah, didn't go well. It's too difficult to get through. So I see this as sort of a updated version of the normal observation car. Actually, no, it's a business car.
Observation deck. And let's see, kind of going back up to the locomotive, which is probably what most people are wanting to take a more in-depth look at. Of course, yours definitely has the bigger wheel assemblies, so yours is larger than Country's and kind of probably more close to scale. And also, you get a couple of extra bonus points for actually having proper or custom-built smoke effect. So that's kind of like bonus points right there. And something else I was kind of noticing back here. It seems like, I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, but it seems like it's some people kind of forget to add the curved half the underbelly of the tender above the bogies
Yeah.
or wheels has like a curved end to it, but most people just build it as a box. So seems like you're the
No,
first
Jack,
person
Jack,
I've noticed
Jack,
that's
Jack.
done that
A
part.
bogey is something like this. So like, or maybe at the end of Big Boy, like this. This is the trailing bogey.
Okay, Mr. Trainee Elitist.
Shut up! Alright, continue.
Alright, so now that I pointed all that out, is there anything else we need? Well, actually, no, let's see what the inside of the cabin looks like. Ooh.
So what
Yeah.
is the spider web supposed to represent?
Oh, so the actual valve grips where you turn it and stuff. Okay. I kind of figured that just by
Wait.
looking at it, rather than thinking they were steam pressure gauges.
Am I the only one that uses compasses on?
No, I use
Sand?
I use compasses on mine. But those are for the steam
Oh, yeah,
gauges.
we have
Those are the steam handles, like the actual grips that you grab and rotate to open up valves.
Rip.
And let's see, you also did ender rods to actually have the proper handrail walking along the boiler. Most people would have used iron fence bars, which is what I did on one of my
I didn't
frames.
have enough time to add handrails.
You know, so you
Even though I
got the
literally had a week.
got the bell up front, spotlight up on the upper cow catcher, and the actual tattoo of Big Boy slapped on the front of the boiler. Yay! So, is there anything else that we missed or you'd like to add on to it, or does this pretty much cover it? Alright, so here we have Nico Cruz's Big Boy. Well, yeah, more or less up-to-date, restored Big Boy with modern Union Pacific excursion cars. A lot of C's and phlegm and stuff. So that sums up Nico Cruz's Big Boy. So, you know the shindig. Comment down below if you think he wins, and we shall move on to the next person. Alright, so next up is me, unfortunately, because now everybody's going to be wondering what the hell I did. So, it is a train challenge, but a couple of folks already know exactly what I did, and I'm kind of cheating the system here because we said trains, but we didn't exactly clarify which ones. We did say diesel or steam, so the one I built is diesel, and it's a road train.
Damn you.
So, I mean, by definition, it's still called a train, and road trains are an actual thing, especially in Australia. If there's any Australian viewers watching this, you'll know exactly what the hell I'm talking about.
Jack, how many times have you mentioned Australia in these last 5 minutes?
So far I mentioned it once within the actual recording, and then I said it a bunch of times before
Within
the
the
recording.
recording. Yeah. And that's, too many times.
Okay, well, so yeah. So it's a big ass diesel truck road train, mixed freight, rather than just being a whole lineup of, box trailers and stuff like that. Now, the one thing that might be getting people concerned is why the fuck there's two trucks hooked up to one another at the front and one in the back. Well, it's very rare, but I guess it seems like, based on what I've seen, it's kind of, a certain practice for super large road trains to have trucks hooked up to one another for oversized loads, for extra pulling power, to keep them moving and stuff like that, yada yada yada, so on and so forth. You get the shindig. So yeah, I got
Gotta
two...
look this shit up.
got two trucks. One's got a weight on the back, pulling the one behind it, so it has weight for traction. Two box trailers. It's got 5 trailers in total. So you got 2 box trailers up front. The third trailer is a big ass tanker container or gasoline tanker, whatever the hell. Fourth trailer is a big ass flatbed, which looks like it's carrying a ginormous diesel engine. And there's a little bit of a plot to this overall road train, because it's going to be making a right-hand turn into this little HQ building to put the engine inside that little ship over there in the dry dock that's supposed to look like it's being assembled, but I haven't done that part yet. Then fifth trailer is just another little flatbed with a couple of, smaller, short wide containers on the trailer. And then you got the third truck behind it for pushing power with a couple of extra weights slapped on it. And then, let's see, this looks like, oh yeah, I also built escort trucks. I got like a little dually pickup truck that looks like a utility vehicle following it to kind of keep traffic from going around it or passing it or stuff like that. Back up front, I also got like a big old utility truck blocking the road, putting cones out so nobody tries to cut through the median. And then the leading escort vehicles pulled up to the front gate at the office structure, being like, hey, can we get in here? We got your shit. So, yeah, this is my train. I kind of cheated, did something a little bit too far outside the box for some people, being a road train, but it's still called a train by definition. And I did tell everybody I have a backup train built in case this one doesn't quite, fulfill everybody's, guidelines or stuff, but I don't know if I want to show the backup one on video or if I just want to stick with this one. I guess I'll just keep this one. I'll just show everybody else, off screen. But yeah, so this is my train entry, the road train. So, the shindig, comment down below if you think this wins, or if someone else should win. Now, we do have a couple of late entries I'm going to have to add to this video, because they couldn't make it today, so get them in here and see what they've done. So, next up we have, what's his name, SnideChain69. And he don't have a mic, so I had him, what's the word here? I had him kind of pre-message me all the details about his train, or everything he could tell me about it. But right off the get-go, it seems like to me he gets a little bit of extra bonus points because he's got himself a full-fledged station. And I've done just a little bit of, digging into this place, and he does have a little bit of redstone in it. I've come to figure out, and I just stumbled upon that by accident because he never told me about the fact that this station has redstone. And what I mean by that, it's let's see, what do we got here? Established since 1968, Eston Victoria Central Station. Oops. Oh, I guess it's got buttons and stuff. So yeah, inside the station, it's actually kind of like your basic, like, almost kind of like small town, countryside, station and all that good stuff. And what I found here by accident was I found this lever, and it turns off all the lights. And it's kind of cool how he's got it set up, though, because all the lights kind of go off in a chain reaction rather than going off all at once. And when you turn them back on, they all gradually come back on. So definitely a pretty elegant touch. It kind of gives it that more industrial feel. Like, say, if you were role-playing this thing, the lights kind of go off, naturally how you would expect them to. So now here we are on the boarding platform. And let's see, he did say the name of the train was the Pacific Capital, I think it was. And let's see, based on the looks of his train, it kind of looks to be more of like a, well, it's definitely a passenger train, right off the get-go. And taking a good look at it, for some reason the front of it's kind of throwing me off here. I mean, you could consider it like a subway or a tram or maybe some kind of like commuter train of some sort, because you know it definitely has that subway slash commuter train feel to it, and it is completely in. The interior is completely furnished. I was about ready to say that backwards and pull a Yoda. So let's see here. Okay, he's actually got a boarding entrance. So going up here, it seems like okay. So just kind of like your basic. Yeah, pretty much like your basic commuter train setup. Although I do kind of want to check out the cockpit, I guess we'll call it, or the I don't exactly know what they call the driving compartment for a train, but got a lot of levers, map of the train, buttons, switches, and stuff like that. So I'm beginning to wonder if this might be electric or if it's diesel. But then again, kind of going through the schematics of the train, you can't really figure out where the hell a diesel engine would be located. So I'm kind of guessing that this train might be electric, kind of like a subway. So, going through all the carriages, you know, a lot of seating, kind of more or less like a commuter train, like I've said before. And something I'm beginning to notice is these, the upside down stairs and slabs he's got hanging from the ceiling, because he's kind of give the feeling or the look of having luggage racks hanging from the ceiling of the train. And let's see, 2 seats here, but I guess this is a bathroom. Yep, he's actually got a bathroom on board his train. First time I've seen that in a while, but then again, he has a more upscaled train design, whereas most people would build a three wide track. He has a 5 wide track, so you can make a bigger train and squeeze a lot more stuff into it, put more detail, get a little bit more realistic. And then moving on here, oh wow, okay, maybe it might not be just a commuter train because it's actually got sleeping and housing, well not housing, but sleeping quarters. Although not as many beds as I would expect there to be for a train this big for that many that many seats. Boy, I'm starting to pull a yacht video challenge and can't speak well. And an interesting thing about this commuter train, it actually has a observation platform. Interestingly enough. Although I think one thing that might bug everybody, which I begin to notice, and it's probably going to suck for me pointing this out, but the tailing car, or the caboose, whatever the hell you want to call it, the tail end of the train, the carriage is shorter than the rest of them. Yeah, now everybody's going to start flipping their OCD. And let's see, oh, okay, so he's actually got a, what is that, a walkway that goes over the tracks? So I'm guessing this might be kind of an unfinished build, or he might add on to this later, or maybe it might just be the one track, just to have something there. Because it looks like there'd be another track going on the other side of that column, and then you'd have like another boarding platform over there. So this seems to be Snide Chain's build. Snide Chain's train. That all kind of flows together, doesn't it? So, seems to be a little bit more of a custom build, not so much a replica. I mean, he already reinstated that, so I probably should have said that right off the get-go. So, here you have it. This is Snide Chain's train. So, you know the shindig. Type down below if you think he's the winner, and we'll move on to the next entry. Well, I think that about sums up all of the entries that we have for the train build challenge. And it seems like, between the community and a couple of you viewers, these build challenges seem to be very interesting for you. And, let's see here, what all do I have to say real quick? Well, I mean, if you stuck around for this long, thanks for tuning in and checking us out. And I guess, you know what? A little bit of a survey here for you, the viewer. I'll swing this information by the community here just later, but it seems like everybody within the community is wanting the next build challenge sometime down the road to be something ship related, so everybody's kind of back within their comfort zones and they can, exploit their full potentials for building spectacular builds. Because so far, I mean, trains was kind of a big step outside our comfort zones. Here's what I've kind of have it figured. Something ship related. And it kind of seems like everybody was kind of debating, preemptively before this. They were kind of questionable about the top picks would be ferry, a ferry ship that carries vehicles. Second option could be a big-ass container ship or little container ship. And third option, which would be the most extreme option, aircraft carriers. So, I mean, if you the viewer want to, share your opinion or your decision as to what we should do next, type that down in the comments also below and let us know what you think. I'll swing the information by the guys and see what they want to do. So, this just about sums up today's little video build challenge. So, you know, my little common outro, you know, I've said it before and I shall say it again. You take care, have yourself a nice day. I'll see you next time, and see you later. Wait, go ahead.
Here.
Where's the water bucket? It's funny
Alright,
how
Jack.
we go from doing trains and stuff to watching an Ewok
Alright,
experiment with
back up.
lightning.
Jack. Send me into survival.
Juju survival.
Survival. Alright. Now throw that shit at me. That's toaster bath right there.
Okay. Wow, we went through all that effort just to get an actual toaster bath.
I know, that's what I'm about to say.
All that effort.
Yup.